The Israelites, they seen God working in his awesome wonder. Now, when I try and look at it from this perspective, we're trying to break it down this way. We, as people, we may not have seen the Red Sea parted, but the Israelites stood there and watched the Red Sea parted and walked through it. And they must have seen the sharks and the fishes swimming as they walked through when God made a way. Not just God made a way as in he paid my bills, but he literally made a way out of nowhere when death was on their tail. And it baffled me, because when I was reading through the entire chapter, I realized, thinking, how can someone doubt God, or a people, a whole group of people doubt God when they've seen the miracle there before him? It wasn't Moses, they were talking about stoning Moses and where they wanted to put him down, but they'd seen the miracle for themselves. And I thought to myself, what a crazy thing, because it takes a lot for us as people, as Christians, to believe in God, but these people seen it. And I thought about how difficult or how real this life is as in our flesh body, that despite seeing and understanding and seeing what God has done for us in our own life, we can still turn around and doubt God and say, God, you're not able to do it. You're not able to feed us. You're not able to give us water. And so again, I'm going to quickly just brief over it, but like Sister Kim said, there was a stage where they went to war with the Amalekites, the Israelites, and they got on the mountaintop, and Moses held up his staff, which was the representation of God. And when he rose his hand up, Israel prevailed. And when he got tired, when he got weary, and his staff began to come down, the Amalekites started to prevail. And I thought to myself, that's weird, because when I look at, we talk about in church a lot, we have the victory. As Kim said, we actually have the victory. So it's one. So how is it possible in a fight where God is in play, can the enemy begin to get headway? I thought to myself, how can the enemy begin to get headway if God is in it? And I looked at today, and one of the things that I really want you to do, church, is critique me. Anything that I'm saying now, I want you to critique it. I want you to look at the Bible. I want you to ask God for yourself and say, was this really Bible? Is it really God? Was it just his opinion? Was it a far-flung interpretation of what he's trying to put across? And when I look at it from today, I look at how it actually works in church or for us as Christians. And a lot of the time we're going through life and things are happening, we come against our trials or our battles, and what you will notice when you look back on the battles that you have gone through and you've overcome is that during those times when things got hard, you lost sight of God. When you have God inside, it's easy to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But when God is not inside, things look, it's no longer bliss. Everything is darkness. There's no way out. And God was saying to me, it's quite simple. And this is the reason why it's going to be very short, because it's quite simple. The Lord, your God, is your banner. And I want, if I could put it this way, back in the old times, when they used to go to war, the army would go and they'd be in their packs. And at the front of the pack, they'd have the banner, or their flags and everything, and that would say who they were fighting for, who they were fighting from, and in the name of. And when I looked at it, I thought to myself, in a more practical sense, when we look at our church and who we're fighting for, a lot of the reason why when we look at churches today, I think why are churches not getting headway? There's a lot of things that as Christians we are up against at this stage right now, and it's not each other. It's not Muslims, it's not terrorists, it's not the people at work, it's not the government, but there's an evil force that we're at war against. And when I looked at this war that we are in, we are walking together, one body of Christ, not just this church, but churches, Christians alike. We're walking in and we're going to war. And if God is not the banner of the war, then we're going to reach a point where we're going to start, the enemy's going to prevail against us. You think, what are you talking about, right? Satan's enemies, his kingdom cannot prevail against the church, but it has. And you can see it in corruption, you can see it in scandals, and you can see it in all these things. And when I don't know if any of you have tried to invite someone to church, or you tried to have a conversation with someone about church or about God, and the first thing they do is talk about what they've heard, the scandals, what's wrong about church, not what's right about church. And immediately when they start talking about church, that's how they perceive God. So this church building and who we are, that's who God is to them. Because if we're not living and we're not demonstrating, if our banner is not there, then that's what God is to them. That's what they're seeing. And I was looking and I was thinking to myself, wow, because God has already made this promise. He's already sworn it to us. And this is what I love about God. And a lot of people say the Bible contradicts itself from Old Testament to New Testament. But it's the very same thing that happened. God made this covenant with Moses, with the Israelites back then. He said, hallelujah, Jesus, that he would wipe the face of the Amalekites from this earth, and then you would have the victory. And the same thing happened when Jesus came to free us as the Gentiles, Sister Kim said, that we may have the victory. We may have the victory, but the battle that we're fighting against, and this is what when the Jews went wrong, they looked at Jesus as someone who was going to release them from the oppression of the Catholics, but Jesus was looking at the spiritual war that we're going to be facing throughout this life. And if there's one thing I want you to take from this and to leave with this, I always try and leave an example, is if you look at this as an army, if you look at this church, and everyone here is an army. In an army, everyone has certain purposes that they need to fulfill. You have the army, the ground force, you have the RAF, you have the Navy, and this country is all done in Her Majesty's name. So wherever you go, if you come across a soldier, and I've come across a few, you will see it's in Her Majesty's name. So everything they do, if they're a chef, if they're ground soldier, if they're engineers, if they're building torpedoes, whatever they're doing, they're all fighting for the same cause, for the same name. And what I want you to understand is in church, if we want to grow, if we want to get headway in the kingdom, what Satan has tried to destroy, how he's tried to take God and try to take his people, we have to acknowledge that everyone here, they have a different role to play in this battle, in this war that we're in. But no matter what your battle is, if you're singing, if you're signing, if you're preaching, if you're teaching, if you're just evangelizing, if whatever it may be, you are doing it in the name of the Lord. And the Lord, as long as, hallelujah, Jesus, if you do it, hallelujah, Jesus, with your hands up and you say, the Lord God is my banner. If you have it in your forefront, if you only see God in whatever it is that you are doing, if it's whatever, no matter how small it may be, then you are fighting in the good fight. And I was thinking to myself, wow, it's so easy to miss and it's so easy to breeze over. And I really want you to critique him. I really want you to think, is what he's saying making any sense? Because if it's not making any sense, look at the Bible for yourself and think, does this work? Is this how I should look at my purpose, or how I should see how I need to go? Because at the end of the day, the end goal is getting to heaven. And a lot of us forget that when we're living from day to day, we're looking at, what career we want to get into, or what kind of lifestyle we want. Well, at the end of this, there is an end. There's an end to when this body, this physical body, will come to an end. And it's where the other day I went to play basketball and I was sweating. And after I finished sweating and I moved my hands across my face, I felt soul. And I felt, I'm dust. That's all I am. I'm dust. And I heard Pastor say that he was talking to someone and he says, you're just a soul inside of this body. This flesh body is not here. This body is not going to last. But it's your soul that will live on. Hallelujah, Jesus. And once we recognize and acknowledge that it's actually our soul, this whole life is we're living in a war. And I know some people will be here and we're praying for our brothers and our sisters and our family and our friends, our nieces, our nephews, and we really want them to get into heaven. We will just pray and say, God, just make a way. The only way we can really reach into the kingdom of Satan, where Satan has people held and bound, is when we can recognize what our position is in this war. Whether you're a corporal, whether you're an army, whether you're a pilot, whatever you are, if once you act into your function, hallelujah, Jesus, I don't know, hallelujah, Jesus, I don't know if anyone's following, if anyone's getting anything from me today. When war happens, the only way a war hallelujah, Jesus can be won is when everybody works together to get the, hallelujah, the job done. I don't know if anybody's hearing me. There's a film that they've been advertising called Dunkirk, and I don't know if anyone's seen the trailers to it. But during that page, if one element of the army is getting destroyed and the other side of the army does not step in, they're wiped out. And that is what can happen to the church, to us as Christians. We can end up wiped out if we don't acknowledge that the Lord God is our banner. And that's what God was saying. All it takes is you, one person, to stand for God and say, you know what, God, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to live for you in this way. And God will do it in Jesus' name.